Hello everyone, welcome to SpexX. Under the dome of the watchmaking world, Richard Mille shines like a supernova, redefining what it means to be a top-tier timepiece of the 21st century with its revolutionary materials, skeletonized mechanical aesthetics, and exceptional shock resistance. The RM35-01, specially created for tennis legend Nadal, is not only an indestructible time machine, but also a badge symbolizing peak performance. However, owning such a watch is no easy feat. Its steep price puts it out of reach for many watch enthusiasts. Although replica versions on the market closely resemble the original in appearance, there are still obvious differences in materials and details. This has led to the emergence of even more refined, customized, modified versions. Today, let's analyze just how significant the differences in craftsmanship and materials are between the customized versions and the standard replicas. Here, you can see two watches. On the left is the customized version, modified with a Parmigiani movement, which we'll refer to as the CW. On the right is the standard replica version, which we'll call the A version. Next, we'll compare their craftsmanship and details one by one. Follow us to learn more about watch modification knowledge. First, in terms of exterior materials, the CW uses an imported NTPT carbon fiber custom case. The case's texture resembles natural waves formed by wind blowing over sand dunes, with a natural interplay of light and shadow and a strong sense of depth. The A version, on the other hand, has repetitive and symmetrical patterns that look like a flat design floating on the surface. Because different materials are used, the CW achieves a weight much closer to the original at 64 grams, while the A version is about 10 grams heavier, weighing around 73 grams. There are also differences in the crown. The CW's crown is crafted with greater precision, fitting perfectly with the case. In the A version, there is a noticeable gap between the crown and the case, failing to achieve a perfect fit. Looking at the case back, you can also clearly see that the CW's carbon fiber material has distinct layered textures and an excellent tactile feel. The A version's carbon fiber texture is chaotic and messy, lacking the raised woven feel of real carbon fiber. Comparing the English letters and engraved codes, the CW's engravings are noticeably deeper and more three-dimensional. The CW strap is custom-made from imported natural rubber, making it extremely soft with a noticeable rebound effect. It fits the wrist like a second skin, providing a much more comfortable wearing experience. The A version's strap is made from ordinary rubber, which feels relatively stiff and can feel rigid when first worn. There are also obvious differences in the structure and materials of the clasps. The CW clasp is made of titanium and treated with a DLC black coating process. Its shape and structure are completely faithful to the original, and all screws are removable. The A version clasp is made of stainless steel with a black coating, and the screws are integrated and non-removable. There are also discrepancies in the shape. The side profile of the A version is very thin, which differs from the original. The front of the CW clasp features a clear and delicate brushed texture, with English engravings that are uniformly deep, three-dimensional, and sharp. The A version does not have a brushed finish on the surface, and the English lettering is rather flat, lacking a three-dimensional effect. A comparison of the hands under the lens is recommended. Due to differences in the movement, you can see from the side that the CW hands use high-profile hands, maintaining consistent spacing between them and appearing to float above the movement. The spacing between the hands on the A version is relatively narrow, and their positioning differs from the original. The red arrow on the CW second hand is an extremely sharp triangular shape, as crisp as if it were cut by a knife, with no rough edges at all. The red arrow on the A version's second hand is not sharp enough, it's too rounded and loses that sense of sharpness. Finally, let's look at the most crucial part, the heart of the watch, a comparison of the movements. The CW uses Swiss original Parmigiani movement components for modification, retaining the Swiss original Parmigiani movement's wheel axle and balance wheel shock absorption system. The movement's main plate uses genuine titanium metal with a black coating process, giving it a delicate texture and flawless craftsmanship. The A version uses an in-house integrated movement, which can achieve the basic functions of the original, but the main plate is made of stainless steel with a black coating. Compared to titanium, the main plate is slightly rough, lacks refinement, and feels less premium. Comparing the titanium bar finishing process, under magnification, the CW metal bar's brushed finish is extremely refined, while the A version's brushing is relatively rough. Therefore, when rotating the watch, the CW titanium bar produces a much stronger contrast of light and shadow, delivering an excellent visual effect, whereas the A version's effect is somewhat inferior. At the 10 o'clock position, the mainspring barrel core on the CW uses a precision sandblasting process, giving the surface a uniform microporous texture. The A version, on the other hand, is not sandblasted, resulting in a bright silver appearance with relatively rough brushing. The brushed finishing process on the mainspring barrel core below the 12 o'clock position also shows a significant difference between the two. In addition, the mainspring barrel's power reserve hole is perfectly replicated on the CW. The relationship between the power reserve hole and the mainspring arbor is crucial for the stable operation of the movement's mainspring. Between the 1 and 2 o'clock positions, the movement setting lever spring on the CW features fine, bright brushing, and the two screws on either side of the bridge are accurate in both shape and size. On the A version, the screws are oversized and the bridge is incorrectly polished. There are also clear differences in the shape of the screw above the shock absorber between the two versions. All the power reserve components in the CW movement use high-quality Swiss parts. The power reserve bearing not only serves as a functional key component, but is also fitted with a silver column, providing exceptional stability as well as a superior visual effect. The A version uses standard power reserve components due to cost considerations. The purity of these components is relatively lower, and the shape and finishing of the column are also less refined. Through a comprehensive and detailed comparison, we can clearly see the different pursuits represented by these two Richard Mille RM3501 watches. The A version, utilizing mature mass production techniques, ensures the basic appearance is faithfully reproduced while offering an extremely approachable entry-level option. In contrast, the CW version equipped with the Parmigiani movement truly embodies the idea that details define value, making it suitable for enthusiasts who seek the ultimate experience. May every watch enthusiast find the timepiece that resonates with their own attitude. Welcome to Follow SpecSex. If you have more questions, feel free to leave a comment and we'll provide you with more help and guidance. See you in the next episode.